Interested in medical school, but worried about the workload? Have you heard stories about the immense amount of time and energy it takes and wondering if they are true? I've been in your place, curious about what medical school is really like. So today, we're going to be talking about an all too common problem: medical school burnout. Continue watching this video to learn about medical school burnout and how you can avoid it. Hey guys, I am Dr. Ava, an internal medicine hospitalist. Preparing for your future, especially one as intense as a medical career, is an important thing to do. I want to help you prepare through sharing some stories of burnout and the strategies that have helped me to mitigate the stresses of it. Burnout does not disappear without you taking action. So if you start to feel it, don't remain passive. Take steps to mitigate and eventually eliminate it. With how much it is talked about as being a great deal more difficult than undergrad, I was slightly anxious about heading towards it. I wanted to know which stories were true and which were exaggerations by others in the middle of their time there. I'm hoping that by sharing with you some of my experiences, as well as the experiences of my peers, I can reveal some of what caused the burnout and how to deal with it as you go through the same process. Just like everyone else, I experienced burnout when I was attending medical school. It is an influx of information and experiences all coming at you in a rapid sequence. The free time that I had come to depend on in college suddenly ceased to exist. I had test after test after test and found that I was constantly studying. I repeatedly had to choose the schoolwork and study time over hanging out with friends over the weekend. And at times, even when I did schedule time with them, it was a lot shorter than I used to. There were definitely times during medical school where I just felt like I needed to sleep for years or I would have a breakdown. And I know I wasn't the only one. Many of my peers had experienced the same stresses, short deadlines, and pressures that I had. That's not even to mention once my residency began. All of a sudden, I was part of treating real patients, had to do rounds, and still had to find time to study and branch out to expand my education. My already little free time became even shorter. But despite all of this, I never regretted my decision to attend. It was a dream I had since I was young. And thanks to my parents being in the same field, I at least had an idea of what I would be getting into. I am glad to have been forewarned, and I hope to give that same feeling to you by telling you some of my tips and some of the tips my colleagues and I discovered. I wish to help you with burnout when it comes your way. And my fellow peers, there were times that I saw how utterly exhausted they became. But there wasn't much time to try to catch up on sleep when every grade seemed to be of the utmost importance. Add in fact that knowing this information could potentially save a life, well, the pressure built even more. One of my friends faced this concern frequently. She constantly worried that not staying up to study would result in her not knowing what she needed to do at vital moments. She had this tendency to spiral into her worries until that seemed to be the only possible outcome. Another friend of mine had trouble balancing his school life and his work life. He needed to maintain a job to afford going to school, contributing to the burnout that he was facing. He had even less time to relax than the rest of us. Fearing that he would miss out on something fun, he often chose to spend his little free time with others instead of catching up on rest. So between worrying and the understandably busy schedule that comes with medical school, it can be difficult to take care of yourself. This burnout can lead to you finding yourself losing passion about the things you used to love. When you feel as though you need to rush from one thing to the next, it can be very easy to forget why you wanted to be in there in the first place. While I never regretted my choices, there were times that I needed to remind myself about why I had picked this path. I wanted to help people the way my parents did. So I had to learn to deal with burnout. One of the most important things, as simple as it sounds, is to make sure you are eating well. Having the proper diet will increase your energy, even if it means you need to take more time to make the meal. It also keeps you in good health if you are eating well. Just as simple but also often overlooked is to make sure that you are sleeping. My friends that would choose to study or spend time with others instead of sleeping ended up suffering for it in the long run. Their work quality dropped once they became too tired to focus properly. So even if you feel that you are behind on your work or you don't know the information for your next exam, if you are feeling exhausted, listen to your body and sleep. Lean on your peers and the systems your school may have in place. Many, if not all, medical schools nowadays have options to talk to a therapist. Even if you're not going frequently, it's a good way to receive an outside perspective on your situation. Hearing from someone that has objectivity and can lend an ear does a lot towards restoring a mental balance. There's also many activities that can help with stress, but two in particular come to mind. One is exercise. In much the same way that eating healthy improves your energy and just in general keeps you in good health, so does exercise. It is a time away from your studies when you can take a step back. Depending on the time of day that you exercise, it may give you energy. Or it could be a good way to tire yourself out so that you can sleep well. Another activity is journaling. A place to get your thoughts laid out is important. It helps you organize the events of the day and could possibly help you prioritize. If you journal regularly, it can keep your workload in perspective and help you plan your schedule according to what needs to get done. Maintaining yourself can be hard, especially the first year of medical school when you don't know what a normal amount of stress is. Make sure to talk to other students so that you know if what you are feeling is the average experience. Depression and anxiety are common mental health issues that many are facing today. Do not feel ashamed or embarrassed about it, but make sure you're getting the right help. One of the problems that is faced in medical school is knowing the difference between a normal amount of pressure and deeper problems. That's why talking to others is important to know what the baseline is. And if you happen to have a more than average amount of stress, then it's even more important to create a space for you to relieve that stress and to talk to a professional. If you need help or you need to talk to someone in this period of your life, get in touch with me for my one-on-one support. I have an online mentorship, Live with Me, you and I together, for an hour with me teaching you step by step on how you can successfully manage all the aspects that come with becoming a doctor. Click on the link description below to learn more. I believe in you and your abilities to handle medical school. Just remember to take care of yourself too. Until next time.